Welcome back. Today I've got a really cool watch. This is an AVI-8 P-51 Mustang. But before I jump into this, I just want to say thank you very much to Craig, the owner of this watch, for not only lending it to me, but to lending it to several of us to check out, a couple of us to review on YouTube. And just, I'm kind of blown away by this very small group of watch enthusiasts that I'm in a group chat with, basically, on Facebook Messenger. We met all there. There's like 13 of us, and it's really like a family. And for these guys who we've never met in person, and we've only known each other for a few months, to just drop a watch in the mail and send around to people they've never met before is just pretty awesome. So thank you, Craig, for loaning this one around. Thanks for Dane for shipping it to me. And I will get this back out to you guys in a couple of days, maybe, because it's actually pretty cool. So let's dive into it. First off, you know I'm not a big unboxing guy, whatever, but I do like to point out cool packaging. And this is a hard case that it comes in, ballistic nylon type, material. And it, the watch kind of comes in here on this pillow. And then it's got a spot for a secondary strap, a spring bar tool, and it's got the P-51 Mustang card that I accidentally pushed in here too hard when I was putting it in, that kind of just talks about it a little bit and talks about the Mustang itself. Because this is an aviator style watch, they talked about the aircraft that it's named after and kind of likened to on the back of that metal card. So here's a good close-up of the watch itself, and we'll jump into the specs here in a second, and then we'll give you a walk around the watch. So it is a just over 42 millimeter case size, and that's just strictly just the outside of the bezel, which is even with the case. It does not include this Panerai style crown guard or the crown. The lug width, or lug to lug, is just over 50.3 millimeter, with a lug width of 22, and this incredible leather strap that tapers down to 19.5. This has got to be one of the most comfortable, supple straps that I have ever seen. And granted, it's not right out of the box because Craig has owned this for a while and worn it, and it's well broken in, but just I don't know. It is super incredible, super comfortable. Anyway, the overall thickness is 13.1 millimeter to the top of that sapphire crystal. It has the Seiko NH35 movement, so it is hand winding and hacking. It is automatic. It has a 50-meter water resist. So this is more of an aviator pilot style watch than a diving watch. And it comes in at 3 ounces or 85 grams. It has a very nice exhibition case back, display case back, with some information around the screw down case back. Sapphire crystal, 50-meter water resist, stainless steel. These are limited in production to 1,490, and this is number 52 out of 1,490. Really like, as a collector, when they actually number it, rather than just being one of 1,490, this is actually number 52. So it's just cooler for us collectors, whether it's knives or watches, to have numbered versions. Not a serial number, but number 5 out of 100, 50 out of 1500. You know, it's just nice to do that. What's really cool about this dial is it's a sandwich dial and it's multi-layered. So you've got the 0 and the 3 up to almost the 6 at one plane. And then you've got this VPH on the right, this red placard that, you know, is screwed down or appears to be screwed down. And that actually is the vibrations per hour. So that's the movement and how many vibrations and ticks there are in the movement. So that you got that pop of red there, you've got the red second hand, and then underneath that minute hand, you have a red date wheel, which is pretty cool. Then there's another little plate here housing the 6 and the 9. And that's kind of bolted on top again for just some more visual appearance. And it kind of balances out the red placard, if you will, that's up in the top 1, 2 o'clock position. So I think that's really cool. The minute hand really stretches out to the edge of the case as well as the second hand. Now, one thing I did notice is, I can move this a little bit. The back side of the minute hand, the counterbalance, is pretty long. So when it's in this position, it really kind of covers up the hour hand a little more than I like. I mean, I think they could have done that maybe a little bit different. But I like the red minute or date wheel to kind of offset for the red placard there. And I love the red second hand. Get this about approximate time. So being that it's 42 millimeter, and I didn't grab some other watches, I meant to grab a couple here to compare size. It wears a lot bigger. You know, it appears bigger than 42 millimeter because there's not a dive bezel. The indices are pushed way out to the edges. The minute hand, the second hand are very long and reach way out to the edge of the case. So the dial appears very big. Let me throw it on my wrist so you can see it. Because I think while the watch is a reasonable size for most at that 42, 43 millimeter mark, it still has a very big legible dial because like I talked about on one of my other videos on my Hamilton Day Pilot, how it kind of changed my opinion on some small watches or the 42 millimeter watch, because you can make the dial so big appearing. So this is on my 7 1/4 inch wrist. It is super comfortable. It doesn't move around. I mean, it just wears really nice. Can't really say too much bad about the comfort and the feel, because this leather strap is really, really comfortable. So one other thing I want to point out on this Panerai style crown guard is it's got the 6 little dots on there where it's bolted in. And that's to, again, signify the exhaust of the P-51 Mustang aircraft. You can see here as we do a little close-up, the fit and finish on the case. That polish is just perfect. It's got a few fingerprint smudge marks on it, but all in all, it is really well done. Everything just fits really nice. Even the display case back, it's really a nice package altogether. I really am enjoying checking this one out. And I will have it for a couple of days and pass it along to the next person. I'm not sure if it's going back to Craig. I got to check because I kind of lost track of where it is in its kind of rotation, if you will. I think it goes back to Craig now at this point, but we'll get that sorted out on the back end. So anyway, thanks for watching. I will see if I can put a link to the AVI-8 website down in the description below, as well as a link to some of my other watch video playlists, if you want to check those out too. So again, the AVI-8 P-51 Mustang automatic watch. Fantastic piece. There you go. Thanks for watching. Hope you have a great day, and we'll see you in the next one. And I almost forgot. Well, I did forget, so I'm going to splice this on to give you guys a lume shot, because there is some lume on this that is worth checking out. It actually glows pretty good, and it's really legible even without being a dive watch. So the pilot watches and the aviator watches can be fairly luminescent as well. So anyway, thanks for watching, and we will see you on the next one.